Good evening, everyone. Romney Smith at WTOC for The News Now. This is where we bring you local, regional, and national stories that we're following, things that we're working on for the next newscast. So thank you so much for giving us just a few minutes of your time. We're on various platforms, so whether you're watching on our website, WTOC.com, the WTOC apps, Amazon Fire, Roku, Twitter, or Facebook, we appreciate your time. I see all of you guys on Facebook. The reason we wanted to wait a little bit longer for the News Starting Now screen is because we have absolutely incredible video to show you. We showed it to you at 6 o'clock, but many of you might have been running errands and did not get a chance to see it. What we're going to show you is the body camera video of the exact moment that 2-year-old little girl was found this afternoon. We're about to show it to you. This morning, teams of people were searching for the 2-year-old named Kamaya Vicks. She'd gone missing, and it took about 5.5 hours to locate her in a wooded area in between Port Wentworth and Savannah on the Highlands and Benton Boulevard up there. So we're going to show it to you right now. Take a look and also listen, because at one point you can't see her, but you hear her crying out for the rescuers. Here we go.
No, that's a child. It's a child. That's a child. We got a child. Task Force 5. Where is she? Where is she?
Last unit calling.
The child has been located.
Unit calling in. Please identify.
You guys have water?
Yeah, boys, it's going to be one of their crews, Task Force 5. Stand by. I'm trying to get his position.
You got you now.
Lord, I love you. Thank you.
I've been here a long time, haven't you, baby? My brother.
Now, the men who found her are not law enforcement officially, they're cadets. They've all graduated from the police academy, but this is only their second week of their 7-week training session with the Savannah Police Department. These cadets were actually in class when they were told, we need your help to search for a little girl. You see them there giving her water, radioing in that they found the little girl. That way they could get her checked out by paramedics and reunited with her mother after they figured out a little bit more information. As you heard in the video, they were incredibly thankful and very grateful. You literally heard them saying, thank God we found her. And a lot of you guys, I see you on Facebook weighing in saying, thank you, Father, bless her heart, glad they found her. And one of you saying, how did she get out there? That's actually what we're looking at. So let's go to a timeline. Let's back up and look at how it all started. So officials say the mother was last seen pushing her daughter in a stroller near Benton Boulevard Highlands area around 5 o'clock last night. She then called police around 7 o'clock this morning, reporting her daughter missing. Officials say they first found the mother in distress in what appeared like a crisis situation. Once they deployed a search team for the child, they found the stroller knocked over and the mother's flip-flops near a pond. Of course, they brought out a boat because they were nervous. Perhaps the daughter was in the pond and she might have drowned. So they brought out a helicopter and boats to search the water. They brought out more law enforcement and, as you just saw, the cadets to help search for this little girl. This helped narrow the search, but the Port Wentworth official called in Marine Patrol. Thankfully, she was not in the water. Now, as you just saw in that video, they did find her by a tree. She had some scrapes, a little sunburn, but she is okay. We still have a lot of questions right now that we're looking to get answered. Mainly, the child was found a good distance from the stroller. Right now, we're not sure if the little girl walked there herself or if she had the help of her mother. Also, she was last seen walking with her daughter yesterday night, but then she didn't call till this morning. So when exactly did her daughter go missing? Also, on top of that, we're not sure if the crisis that she was in was a mental crisis, a physical crisis, a medical crisis. So we're still working to learn a lot of information about exactly how this little girl got separated from her mother and the stroller, how she got to that wooded area. And for those of you that just saw, we're not talking about a neighborhood and trees. This was a heavily dense wooded area. I couldn't even see this little girl, but luckily once she heard people looking for her, those 3 cadets you saw, she cried out and they went running to her. So very amazing that she was safely found this afternoon around 12:27 this afternoon, right before we went off air. Right now, WTOC reporter Danielle Lawan is working to get answers to those questions. We'll have more tonight on the news. And for everyone watching, I see your comments. Very thankful that she was found. Very happy. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. For those of you who are late, we are going to show that body camera video again in a few minutes at the end of the digital newscast. And as we first told you, switching gears, in our digital newscast at 3 p.m., a major change will happen soon on the United States Supreme Court. Justice Anthony Kennedy announced today that he plans to retire from the U.S. Supreme Court effective July 31st of this year. That means President Donald Trump will now get his second pick to nominate to the nation's highest court. But here's something a little interesting. Out of the list of people who perhaps might become the next Supreme Court justice, 2 people on that list are from the state of Georgia. Let me show them to you. First, Justice Britt Grant. She has served on the Georgia Supreme Court since January 1st of 2017, about a year and a half. She's worked for then Congressman Nathan Deal, our current governor, and then she also worked for President George W. Bush. The second Georgian on the list, Justice Keith Blackwell, is on the Georgia Supreme Court right now. He graduated from the University of Georgia from undergrad and law school. Blackwell has served as a law clerk, assistant district attorney, and a partner at a law firm, and more. The president says he will start his process to pick from his list of vetted candidates immediately. We also have a warning this evening from Chatham County Police right now about some fake money going around town. Officers say they have been made aware of this issue and counterfeit money being used on the west side of the county. Incidents have been reported near the I-95 Georgia 204 corridor, and it has extended to the U.S. Highway 17 and Quaco Road area. So any businesses or people who get fake money should contact a police department immediately. All right, let's talk about weather for one moment. I know you're like, show me the video again. I want to see that body camera. I'm going to show it to you. Just give me 1 second because I have to talk about weather because it is so stinking hot right now. And guess what? It's going to continue to be hot. But you know the rotation, hot in the morning, early afternoon, then we have storms. Let's take a look at the WTOC Twitter account right now. We've got the latest tweet up, First Alert Live radar, and look at what we see right in the middle. Lots of lightning around Waynesville, Brunswick, some moving into Hinesville. That will be coming up to the Savannah and then traveling on to the Hilton Head area. So keep in mind, storms still in effect right now. Severe thunderstorm warning until 8:30, especially for portions of Glenn and Camden counties. It's moving southeast at 20 miles an hour. So just be safe out there, everyone. Also, we have a neat opportunity to share with you. WTOC's Celebrate the Summer Tour will continue to roll on. So this Friday, our First Alert weather team will be in Pooler at the Surf Lagoon from 4 to 7:30. The WTOC Storm Chaser will be parked outside. You'll have a chance to meet the entire WTOC weather team, so feel free to stop by and say hello. All right. I know you guys want to see that video again, so we're going to show it to you one more time. And let me give you a recap for those of you just tuning in. So there was a search this morning for a missing 2-year-old girl. Her mother called around 7 o'clock this morning to report that she was missing. Officers say they found her mother in a state of crisis. We do not know exactly if it was a medical crisis, mental crisis, but they said she was in a state of crisis and her daughter was missing. Her stroller was found a good distance away from where she was located, and it was right by a pond. So of course they're thinking the worst, and they got the marine team out. So they're now on boats combing the water trying to find this little girl's body. They also have helicopters. Well, turns out even though they had multiple law enforcement officers, police, sheriff's deputies, firefighters looking for her, it was a team of cadets, not official law enforcement officers. They're still in training. And we have the very moment that these cadets located the little girl. I'm going to show it to you. It's about 45 seconds long. You really want to listen as well, because the moment they scream out, looking, she responds, and you can't see her because it is a very thick, heavy brush area with lots of trees, lots of wooded area. So listen and watch the moment they find the little 2-year-old girl.
No, that's a child. It's a child. That's a child. We got a child. Task Force 5. Where is she? Where is she?
Last unit calling.
The child has been located.
Unit calling in, please identify.
You guys have water?
10-4, it's going to be one of our crews, Task Force 5, stand by, I'm trying to get his position.
We got you. We got you now.
Lord, I love you. Thank you.
I've been here a long time, haven't you, baby? On water?
All right, again, that is the moment that these cadets found Kamaya Vick Vix, pardon me, the exact moment she was found in the woods. And as you can see, guys, that's a very heavily wooded area. She was actually crouched down, leaning against a tree. She had some scrapes. She had some bruises. They immediately gave her water because they said she was hot. She was immediately taken to be checked out by the EMTs, but she's in pretty good spirits, as you can see there. She's not combative. She's not too fussy. She's just really thirsty because she was left alone for about 5 hours. And you guys know how hot it is right now. So we're talking temperatures in the upper 80s, low 90s, and she's out there all by herself. That is a lot for a little girl to deal with. So we are all very thankful that they found her. And I see your comments on Facebook right now. Daniel Armstrong saying God is good. Missy Malik saying there are so many things that could have hurt her. The angels protected her for sure. We were talking about that in the newsroom as well. She could have gotten bitten by a snake. She could have gotten, gone into the pond if in fact she was by that retention pond that was in that area. She could have wandered into someone's home. She could have just, there are so many bad things that could have happened. It is just an amazing situation that they were able to find her. For those of you who want to know about the law enforcement, because I said they were not law enforcement officials, they're cadets. And right now they all graduated from the police academy, but they're actually in their second week of a 7-week-long training session with the Savannah Police Department. They were actually in class this morning when they said, hey, all hands on deck, we need your help to come find a 2-year-old girl. And those 3 cadets found her. So I don't know their systems, policy, or procedures. I personally think they need some kind of award, or maybe they can graduate with a certain honor because their training has certainly prepared them for the best. I'm sure they didn't wake up thinking this was going to happen, but again, you saw the video. She is okay and being checked out. Still lots of questions about the mother and the daughter, why, it took so long. Why was she separated from the stroller? Did she walk? Did the mother take her to the woods? We're still working to figure that out. Danielle Lewan will have answers, hopefully, for most of those questions coming up at 11. The next digital newscast we have will be at 9 p.m. tonight. It'll focus on weather. But again, we're always online at WTOC.com. Thank you so much for joining us. We certainly appreciate it. Find me on Facebook, Romney Smith TV. I'm on Facebook, and I'd love to be your friend. And also, you can always get the news on our website, WTOC.com. And we also have social media pages. We've got Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. There's so many. So I will see you guys later, and I hope you have a great evening. Thank you so much for tuning in and seeing that amazing video, and I appreciate all your comments as well.